Okay.
Hi everyone. We got disrupted for some reason. I don't know what happened today. We're having a technology geeky day. So I just restarted this, and people who are watching are requested to share the video so more and more people can watch it. I shared it on different groups already. Maybe those people who were watching earlier can somehow.
Did you share it on your business page?
I am sharing it there now. All right. So yes, you were. I don't know what I was saying. So
I don't
we're
know.
back. Profile. Um, and here's a question for you.
I'm sharing this link in some places. Can you read it to me?
My inspiration. Now I at my work, dear Rehan, so I'm a bit busy. My work, you know well, but my free time after 2 p.m. Stay relaxed. My problem is how to solve no jobs in Pakistan. He
Jobs.
doesn't, he doesn't say no jobs. He says berozgari, unemployment, basically. Um, that's the legal translation, but it basically means rosy means earning. So people who are not able to learn. Why don't you answer and then I will answer that.
You have to tell me what the question is.
He's saying my problem is there's not enough jobs in my part of the world, which is Pakistan.
Okay. So if you have the passion to create a business and become an employer so that you can employ other people. So I don't know who that was, but if you haven't joined my classroom, please do that. Do you have, I'm curious if you have a business idea, if that's why you're here on this show today. And for now, you can market yourself personally to sell the skills that you do have, to have people hire you to do small projects so that you can be working and getting some income for now. That's the answer to that question all over the world. And it's a problem that just about everybody, every country is facing.
I have to answer that in Urdu to him another time. He's the guy who is on my cover page right now.
Yeah.
And he's a tailor right now, and he just went to another city because I don't know why, but maybe he was annoyed too much by within his own city because he lives in a small town, and everybody called him crazy while he was there because he was making video every single day and posting on Facebook. People started calling him names that, are you going crazy? Why are you making a video on Facebook every day? Why are you taking photos? Why are you taking selfies? So the people who, and this is the mindset of people. So he's looking for $50 to $100 a month job, and that's all he's looking for. And he's not able to make $50 to $100 a month. And he does not really understand English. He makes videos in English by reading stuff from a paper, and he makes videos, which is great because he has the confidence. So this guy, the reason I posted his photo on his cover is instead of just, I mean, some people might say this is lethargic or bad, what I'm about to say, but he just copies everything I do, which is great. So in my books, if he's copying lethargic or
I'm here.
Like we all copy. I mean, I grew up watching or hearing that copying is a bad thing. And I don't understand why copying is a bad thing, because we copy and imitate our surrounding. That's why we speak the language we speak. We copy and imitate our parents. That's why we are the way we are. We copy and imitate leaders. We copy and imitate our class fellows, our teachers. So why is copying a bad thing? That's something which, I don't understand. But basically, I don't think anybody can actually copy 100%. It's impossible because their circumstances are different. So even if somebody copies the exact recipe somebody has, Say, for example, you cook biryani or you cook a steak. No matter how much you copy, you will still add something to your own flavor,
Your own flavor.
and then it's no longer a copy; it's your version of it. So I like it.
Here in my culture, it's referred to as the most sincere form of flattery, to copy someone else. So it flatters the other person, but beyond that, there's really, all you're doing is taking inspiration from someone else that you're learning from. So it's up to you if you want to actually copy completely. Obviously, there are places where you can't plagiarize, you can't steal someone else's copyrighted content or trademarked content, but there's no problem. Rehan, I just, in Messenger, I just sent you a link to the classroom. Can you add that to the description for the video? Because people are asking for it.
We will in the end. It's impossible to do it while I'm doing it.
I could do it if it was your page, but I can't do it on your personal profile. So
I think people are going to buy in an hour. They can always come back and say.
Can anyone else hear this crunching, noisy sound? Can you give us a comment? Do you hear it?
That's probably my family moving stuff around.
No, it's static. It's the connection. So I still want to get, what is going on? I still want to get Hussein in here. Hussein, are you here? I'm not Hussein. Hassan Arshad, are you here? Hassan Arshad.
Yeah, he was here earlier.
Was here earlier, yeah. So why don't you talk for a moment? I'm going to try and send him this.
Sure.
Oh, he's here. Okay, great.
So there's a question. Hey, Carla. There's a question by Muhammad that he's starting a paint shop and how to become successful. Thank you so much for that question. It's a very, 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 very good question. Now, I'll tell you why it's a good question. It's a good question because there are thousands of paint shops in Pakistan. And I have never seen a Pakistani paint shop vendor or a shop owner make any videos that this is how you actually paint. And this is how you should paint, or this is a new paint which I have, which if you use, it will not make your family sick. It's cheaper. This is how you save. I mean, everything which you know should be on your Facebook page and your YouTube channel. Empty this box which you have upstairs to this device and record it, everything you know, and just post it on YouTube and your Facebook. Once it's empty, then you can expect that in a few months you will become Mr. Popular on the paint world, and everybody will be coming to you for buying paint because you are the one who taught them something. So we always respect our teachers. And this is the most cheapest possible way of marketing which you can have today, which is social marketing, where you are actually empowering people. And that's how, I mean, shopkeepers have the most time in Pakistan. They're doing nothing for 2 to 3 hours a day when the customers doesn't show up. And during that time, you can just pick up your phone and just start making videos and post them on YouTube and Facebook, saying blah, 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 blah. This is the paint. This is a plaster of Paris. This is how you do this. This is how you do this. This is how you do this. And this is applicable in every vertical. It could be a pawn shop. It could be a paint shop. It could be a hardware store. It could be a barber shop. It could be any retail business you're in or any wholesale business you're in. You must teach everything you know to the audience so that they no longer have this problem. And you are the go-to person for them to learn from. And then when you're the teacher, voila, you're the person who they're going to come to for help.
Right. And then Then you can expand your paint shop to offer the service of painting. So besides just selling the products, you can offer the service. You can train some people who can work on your staff, who can be hired to go paint people's houses or businesses or whatever. And then that's an additional stream of income. So, but people want to know who they're doing business with. So, and this goes to the other person you were telling me about earlier. If he is spending his time on social media, that's good, as long as he's spending some time building his consumer base, building his followers, showing people what he has to offer, and is basically marketing his business, then it's a really good use of time that he has. So, and I've seen a couple of people. Oh, Umair, hi there. So Umair says Pakistani people can start service business like supply drinking water, mobile car wash, etc. There's no need for investment. That's true. There are lots of things that you can do without investment. Reselling anything that someone needs is a brilliant way to do that. So this is one of the things I actually I teach young people here in my country, in the United States. I've got an article, actually, for those of you who don't follow me on LinkedIn. I highly encourage you to do that. On LinkedIn, I'm Amy L. Carrier. And you can also find the article on my website, which is empowermentthrougheducation.com. I will put these links in the comments. But I have this article specifically for young people to tell them what they can do to make money. And one of those things is to provide a service in your local neighborhood or your local village or community. So, for example, you can do tending to the lawn. You can mow grass. And if you don't have grass where you live in the world, you can offer services to do something else, to keep properties clean. Or another business idea that I've put out there for young people is selling water at events. So anywhere that there is a gathering of people, it can be a concert, it can be a show, it can be a holiday, they can go buy a stock of water, some cases of water for a certain price, and then they mark that up, and then they sell those bottles of water for a markup. And everybody at that event is going to want and need water. So you'll sell out, you'll make money from the markup, you'll make profit, and that's a good way to make money right now. So Rehan, I can't hear you.
So that's a great suggestion. Thank you, Amy. Pani Becha Bhai. So Sam Bhatti has a question.
House cleaning. That's right.
He is in good business on which we can start from Italy.
I can't see Sam Bahati's face. I'm looking at a naked torso.
Yeah. So I suggest, number one, that you should start a t-shirt shop or maybe wear one. Because if you don't have a face, we don't really know, and use your real name, because Sam is not a Pakistani name and you're obviously Bhatti, so use your real name, even if it's difficult for people to learn. This is Facebook and people want to know who you are. And my suggestion to everyone in Europe, I was in Italy for 3 weeks this year, and I saw terrible stuff going on over there. The business is pathetic. However, tourism is in a boom, and I suggest that you sell samosas. That's like, if you don't have money, for example, you can start samosa, you can start selling biryani, and you can start selling food stuff which is authentic from your part of the world, and it doesn't cost anything. Start with food stall. If you don't have money, start with food stall, because even if you have money, a lot of people in Italy who are from Pakistani, Bangladesh areas, if you go to a certain area, all they're selling is the chidi, which is like something weird, which dances, and then they're selling flowers. So they're like 50 people selling flowers, to like 5 customers. So the customer is like trying to run away from there as soon as possible. They're not going to buy from anyone. And then they stick to you, they give to you for free. It's horrible. It's like stalking you. So what I suggest to you is do something different. So never do what everybody else is doing, because there's no margin there. Everybody's trying to cut throat of everybody else. So be a little creative, ask around, and I strongly recommend you to sell samosas because it doesn't cost anything. And you can sell it for $1, $2 easily, and cost you like 10 cents to make one. And if you sell samosas or biryani or something like that, maybe you need permission to sell food. But if you're selling samosas or in a hawker stand, believe me, dude, even if you sell 100 of them, that's $3,000, and that's $2,500 a pound, instant money. 100 samosas is like a no-brainer. I mean, that's nothing. So you can start like 200.
Well, you have to make the samosas. That's the problem.
The thing with Pakistanis who are living over there is that they're living in groups. So they have 6 people, 7 people living in the same apartment, and they have a lot of hands together. And when they have a lot of hands together, they can actually work together and make money with each other. And yes, you have to make samosas, and it's very easy to make because they've watched their parents, they've watched their mothers and sisters make it. They have YouTube to watch and learn how to do it. But the thing is, they know how a good samosa tastes like. It's a given. An American doesn't really know what a good samosa is like. He just eats, oh, that's yummy. Well, dude, you don't even know how it's supposed to taste like. How can you say it's yummy? And that's your talent. Take what you have, and with food especially, you can then take advantage, because it's like 10 times the money easily which you can make, and it doesn't cost anything to start. In Barcelona, there's 100,000 Pakistanis living, which are almost unemployed. 20 people are selling samosas in the evening to drunk people. But again, that's not a good idea, because it becomes 20 people. And now you can start selling something else over there. So that's my sense on that.
We, in Amy Carrier's classroom, we talked about market research and your target customer. That's the free hour and 15-minute lesson that I did, not this past Monday, but the Monday before. You can access that lesson on YouTube. My YouTube channel is called Amy Carrier Empowers. And we talked about exactly this. So Rehan was saying you're not going to sell the same product. He used the example of selling roses, 50 vendors selling roses to 5 customers. That's not how to start a business. But if you do your research and you find out where would it be a good idea to sell roses, and maybe what time of year would it be a good idea to sell them, that's being smart and business-minded. So if you want more detail on that, go back and watch my lesson on market research and your target customer from a week and a half ago. There are actually some really good questions here that I've seen. So I want to, there was one, so I've
highlighted one question if you want.
Abdi Fatah Adhan Ahmed keeps asking the same question over and over. So I'm going to just address this really quickly. How can someone increase his or her productivity in business? So that's too general of a question. That's difficult for us to answer, because you're not telling us specifically what you're doing. How long have you been doing it? Why haven't you been productive? The very first answer I'm going to give you is your productivity is going to be based on you. Have you been productive? Have you been doing the research? Are you actually putting your time and your passion into your business? If you are, and you're being smart and you're finding the right market, and you are doing your research and understanding that all of a sudden, if your numbers decline and if the number of customers decline, you need to right away figure out, how are we going to respond to this? Not just say, well, the numbers are going down. How can I get more productive doing the same thing? You've lost. So what we talked about a week and a half ago in my classroom is the fact that the time to research how to change your business and how to go to the next level is when you are doing really well. You don't want to have to scramble in response to all of a sudden I'm declining. So watch that free lesson in my classroom from a week and a half ago. So what's the question you have up there now? Muzamil, how are you? How to survive a business in a place which is hit by turmoil. So that's a really good question, and I want Rehan to respond to this too, but even if there's turmoil, I want you to think about what is it that people still need. And at a time where people are living in fear, enough money, or there's not enough resources, what do people need? And what they need are the basic human needs. So they need water, they need food, and they need human connection. They need friendship. So you probably won't be making money off of friendship, but you will be showing people, this is who I am, this is my heart, and then those people will come to you for what that they need: food, water, soap. Those are the types of things that you can still have in your business, that you can still sell when you're in turmoil. What do you think, Rehan?
The thing is that people of Kashmir and Palestine and all the other people in those parts of the world are so indoctrinated with pain. And I'll be very blunt today, and I'm not trying to do that they don't even start anything. Before they even start, they say, oh, it's not going to work in our parts of the world. And it's not really Kashmir or Palestine. It's everywhere. It's in America. Oh, there's Trump now. Everything's going to be hell. I can't start a business now. In the UK, oh, there's this woman who's the new prime minister. I'm not going to be able to be successful. You just have the same question from a guy in Manchester. What business should I start? And then I just got an inbox that, oh, you're going to Chicago. Please help this family. They're in pain. And then I have another question. Oh, I'm in Pakistan. I'm devastated. I want to go to America so I can be successful. The success will come when you change, not the country will change.
It's in you. It's in you. If you are creative, if you're passionate, if you're entrepreneurial and you're willing to do the work, you can learn your environment. You can be smart, you can do your work, and ask yourself that question: what problem exists in my immediate environment that I can solve? That's where you start. So everybody who asks, how do I start a business? What's a good idea for a business? A good idea for a business is something that answers that question that you are excited about answering. You're excited about doing the work. You're excited about building it. That's how you're successful, and that's how you meet the needs in your unique area. No one else is going to do this for you anywhere in the world. So Rehan and I know Majd, I forget her last name, but Majd is a very young Palestinian woman who is literally using, she founded something called Green Cake, and you can follow Green Cake, using the rubble in Palestine from the buildings that have been destroyed, and she's turning them into what she calls green cakes. They're new, lighter, more sustainable bricks to rebuild Palestine. So this is a woman who's literally looked at her environment, her part of the world, and said, okay, what problem exists and how can I fix it? The problem exists is there are piles of rubble everywhere, and she's tired of seeing it, and she's tired of her people feeling heartbroken, and she's tired of buildings being knocked down but never rebuilt. So she said, okay, I can do this. Oh, and now she's here in the United States because she just started something. She went to school, she studied engineering. She's very young, I think she's 22, and she's been doing this for a couple of years. And she applied every chance that she got to participate in startup challenges, or she applied for grants, and she applied for a program here in the United States in my city. And she and I have met. We're going to meet again soon. and she's learning from people here who flew her or paying for her entire experience because she was resourceful. She used her ingenuity to go online and find who would be interested in hearing what I'm doing in Palestine. So she applied to a program at Brandeis University, traditionally a Jewish university, and they have a program where they want to build peace between Israel and Palestine. So she applied, and she's perfect. She's perfect for it. So that is being creative and asking that question. Now, would she be as successful if she said, I want to start a cosmetics company and I want to sell my products to the United States? Probably not. In fact, I would dare say no, she wouldn't. So she is successful, and she's very well known now because she is solving a problem that exists. She's filling a need that everybody needs.
So my 2 cents before Amy interrupted, sorry for that, Amy, was that instead of
We're not
thinking,
interrupting. We're sharing all of our insight.
yeah, but when you say do that, I forget everything I was saying.
I know. I'm sorry.
So instead of expecting that something disastrous will happen, every single business in the world has a disaster. Every single human being in the world has a disaster. Amy is a living example of that. That her own life got upside down when a disaster struck her, and she wasn't expecting that disaster. So when you're talking about disaster, what was the word you used?
Muzamil?
Muzamil used the word. What was the word you used? Something attacks.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking crisis, but he didn't say that.
Yeah. So remember that every business faces that. But in the 5 years I have been talking to people in Palestine, I only found Majid and one of her friends who are actually willing to talk and willing to change themselves. In 5 years, after meeting 5,000 Palestinians, I have maybe 500 people from Kashmir follow me. I have 0 people who have asked me a single question about starting a business. So hello, the environment is not going to change. You have to change. If 100 people were asking me questions and actually doing some actions about starting a business from Kashmir, I promise you I would have hired somebody already and just to coach these 100 kids from Kashmir. But people are constantly going to ask questions and not taking actions are showing that they're not really willing to do anything. People who are only asking questions are not really doing it. You have to take some action. You have to show something, and when you do show something, then people will come and help you. You don't have to just people don't trust each other. So you have to understand. There's a video I made about trust economy. What's that? Which explains that unless you trust anybody, you can't really work with them. So you have to build trust from your action. Walk the talk. So if you think that you are scared of starting a business, start small. Sell samosas if you have to. I'm sending this laptop and a mobile phone to a guy in Lahore who was a policeman, and he's trying to compete against the Shehbaz Sharif, the chief minister of Punjab. He's like a nobody, like you and me, a normal constable, a policeman. But he proved every day he was posting photos that I am doing this, but at the same time I'm selling fruits so that I can take care of my 6 children. So that shows me, because he's taking an action, that shows me that he's actually worth investing in. So you have to remember, people think that people invest in ideas. I can guarantee you today,
people invest in people.
invest in ideas. People invest in people. Everybody comes to me who says, I have a brilliant idea. I don't give a rat's ass to what the idea is. Sorry, I don't know. I get emotional with that. I shouldn't get emotional. I don't really want to invest in your ideas. If you're not good enough, you're going to ruin The idea, I can give you a Mercedes Benz, and if you're a bad driver, you're going to ruin it because you can't even drive a Suzuki Swift. Why would I give you a Mercedes? Very simple. Become the change you want to see in the world, and change will not happen overnight. Yesterday, somebody was begging me for 3 minutes for his brilliant idea. I said, go at 500 friends. Oh, that will take forever. So I said, fine. What's the big deal about forever? If you can't change, then who will? I give you $100,000. You take my money, and then what? Oh, you're going to say, oh, it's a lot of hard work. I'm not going to take care of your money, so I just quit it. I just close my business. Hello? Why would I give you money? So you have to remember, people never give money. You could have the stupidest idea in the world, and you can still make money from that if you're a hardworking person. I'm telling you to start a samosa shop, a bun kebab shop, a biryani shop, because if you are the change, you will make that biryani shop, samosa shop successful. You can start a falafel, you can start anything in the world. If you are brilliant, you will make it successful. So become brilliant. Screw the ideas. Everybody's learning for ideas. What should I do? What should I do? Do something, for God's sake. Stop asking, start doing. Sorry. Yes.
Mode Zishan answered your question. Turmoil was the word. And it's very, very true. So the biggest investors here in the United States, the venture capitalists, the billionaires who will, give a small business $500,000, they say without fail that they invest in people. They don't invest in ideas, they invest in people. So to be successful, to everyone who's asked this question, and Shawali TPC asked this question, success is easy or no, Amy Carrier? Shawali, it's not easy. It's not easy. It becomes easier if you allow yourself to embody what you need to embody and to become that model of success. So it's not something outside of you. It's something inside of you. It's who you are. So if you create a mindset of success and you're willing to do the work and do the research, it's not that you're supposed to be, yes, Umair just popped up and said every person is not brilliant, but that's okay. Person has something to offer this world. I will tell you right now that if you are alive in this world right now, you have a purpose. And that purpose could be the smallest thing. Be here to just be a caretaker for elderly people in your community. And that doesn't look to most people like it's success. But if that's your purpose and you do it well, then you are a success. Now, if you don't follow your passion, and you don't follow your dream, and you don't do the research, and you don't do the work to actually become successful, then you think success is outside of you and you think it's hard. And it's not. It's a mindset. So I think Rehan's challenge of 500 mutual friends is really interesting because it will take time and it will take work. There's one gentleman, and we're going to bring him on here today. He wrote to me, and he has been participating in my classes, in my live videos every single week. And he joins for this weekly entrepreneurship show with me and Rehan. And he has started, so he messaged me, and he said that he started connecting with Rehan's friends to do the 500 mutual friend challenge. And because he wrote to me, because he is actually engaging in my world and adding value to my classroom, he didn't even send me a friend request. I requested him. And that's because he showed me that he is working, that he is doing his work to be successful. And he went further by telling me in the message today that he's actually left his job in order to pursue what he wants to do to become an entrepreneur, in order to do that full time. And he's already, maybe he's made 20 mutual friends with Rehan, and he knows that it's going to take time. He's not doing it, excessively. That's not his full-time job, because that's not going to really get you anywhere. But he's doing the right thing. He's doing a little bit of adding Rehan's friends. He's participating in every one of my weekly lessons. He joins us for this weekly show every week. He's educated himself. He's learning about entrepreneurship, and now he's taking that risk to try to build something. So that's what you have to do. Success is not easy, but success becomes easy for you if you are willing to change your mindset and to do what it takes. And I've said this before, I've written articles about it. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't compare. It's fine to emulate. It's fine to learn from other people. It's fine to, as Rehan said at the beginning of this call, it's fine to even copy people, but don't compare yourself to them. Don't compare yourself to them, because everyone is different. So, Rehan, what do you think? Should we invite in Hassan? Oh, we can't hear you, Rehan.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, Hassan, are you still here? Will you pop up and give us a hello?
How about that question? Everybody is not brilliant. Omer, if you haven't seen the movie called Forrest Gump, kindly watch it. You don't have to be brilliant to be successful. And first of all, everybody is brilliant. If you start thinking you're not brilliant, you're not brilliant. If you think you're brilliant,
join us with this link.
And all it takes, the difference between a person who you think is brilliant and the person who you think is stupid or successful, is that the person who is successful have just tried more than you or tried more than others. The movie's name is Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Everybody has a purpose, and everybody is here to do something. You stepped away, Rehan, and when you did, I used the example of, you might be here in this world and your purpose is to take care of elderly people one-on-one. If you're looking at the world and you're saying, well, that person, I'm going to compare that person to Elon Musk, when that person's purpose is to take care of elderly people at the end of their lives, why would you do that? So this idea that you can decide that everybody's brilliant or everybody's smart or everybody's smarter than you, just stop, because you'll never get anything good out of that. This comparing yourself to anybody else. That's my response.
And it's not your fault that you think you're not brilliant or somebody else is not brilliant. It's how we are raised. It's the culture which has raised us in a way where we say we're not brilliant, we're stupid, Pakistanis are dishonest, or this country is dishonest, or these people are thieves, or Hindus are like this, or Jews are like this, or Muslims are like this. It's not how it is. That's not the reality. That's just what you think the reality is. The reality is beyond you can ever even imagine what it is. So instead of believing, like when I was swimming today, a guy asked me, would you like to play water polo with me? And even without even trying, I just said, I'm not good at it. I decided that I'm not good at it. And that was the wrong thing for me to do. I am not good at it because I've never played it. So I can just say, hey, I've never played it before. It's the same thing, but it's the same thing which you say in a different way. So that was my mistake. But why did I make that mistake? Because I think I'm not the best person in the world when it comes to sports, when it comes to bodybuilding, when it comes to any kind of exercising. But that's what I think. That doesn't really matter. All I have to do is work on myself, just like other people have to add my friends. It's work. It's really work. So you have to, like, exercising is work. Anything which that's why it's called work. It's work. That the meaning of work is something you don't really enjoy. But as you start doing it, as you understand it, maybe you will enjoy it. How do you know? You will just have to do it.
Right, you have to try. And if you don't enjoy it, it's not what you're meant to do. So just move on, find something else. So
It seems
Hassan has the link. So we will see if he pops up.
I want to share this comment from Carla, and I want to thank her in front of all of you. She has been doing this show for teaching people English for the last maybe 2 weeks, every single day, 8:15 Pakistan time. I would love for you to join her class. And she has been just showing up. She is older than most of us, and she has just been showing up and doing something which she has never done before. And she has this amazing attitude where she says, you know what, we'll just try it and play it by the ear, and that's what it takes. And she is, I mean, imagine out of 2 billion people on the planet, one person is trying to teach English. What is your purpose? She's trying to teach people laughter meditation. What is even that? So she has this amazing crazy laugh. It's like a monster laugh. When she laughs, it's like scary in the beginning, but then you can't stop but laughing. So that's brilliant to me. But then did she actually learn it? We'll have to ask her that someday. And she's writing a new book called The Laughing Buddha. So she's the Laughing Buddha now. Hi Hassan, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everybody. Hi,
Hi,
Rehan bhai. Hello,
Hassan.
Amy. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I am pretty good. Fine, thank you. Thanks
Good.
for asking.
You can use some light on your face so we can see how old are you. You look 95 right now.
It's very dark.
Is it better now?
Nope.
Okay.
No. Can you?
Well, this is all the light I had. I think I'm gonna turn. Okay.
That is
Is
all.
it any
There we
better?
I will take it. No problem. I will imagine you are 95, and I will ask you how old you are.
go.
I'm 33. Come
33.
on.
30, my lucky number.
Yeah, it is a lucky number. So, yeah, just a moment ago we could see your face. So maybe can you lean up against the wall again and look up at the ceiling or something? Hold the computer up. There we go. Now we can see you a little. Okay,
Okay. Is it any better?
that's a
Okay.
little better.
Sorry about the lighting.
That's okay. So, I just explained a little bit of why I added you as a friend today. And I was inspired and curious about your message where you said you've left your job. Did we lose Rehan? Because Rehan, come back. I want you to be present for this. There you are. I've never heard, I've met hundreds, thousands of people from Pakistan, and I've never heard someone say that he left to start a business. So I wanted to discuss this with Rehan. So can you tell us more about yourself and what you're doing right now?
All right. So actually, I started my business some 6 years back, and in fact, not 6 years back, in fact, 10 years back. But I had been failing on it over and over again since the last 10 years. And there had been a lot of things and issues about that I hadn't been catering to because I was doing a job along with the business, and the job actually required a lot of time and energy from myself. So I couldn't give focus to the business a lot. And then there was also what I think is an issue in my generation. I don't know about the next generation, but it's about the entitlement. We think that if we are doing something, we are entitled to get the reward for that, even without working for it a bit more than we expect ourselves to work for it. So I learned that the hard way. Spent 10 years for it. So now I think I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting some clients for that. I have that experience, and and especially I'm having a baby now than when. So uh,
Wow.
so that was the reason behind it. Um,
Yeah, there
but
is.
it's not like sorry sorry
No,
it's
no, go
not like
ahead.
that I started right now. I started way back, but this is the time when I'm seeing that I'm getting successful at something. So I decided to actually let it go. In fact, let the fixed salary go for some variable income, and I'm seeing that it's going at its peak slowly and gradually.
That's amazing. And you have just described so many things that Rehan and I talk about: the entitlement, the lack of willingness to work, and the fact that you've just said you've worked for 10 years before you could leave your job to focus on your business full time. That is evidence to everybody watching that you have to spend time doing this. A lot of people say they just won't because they don't want to spend the time. But you know what? Time will pass whether you do it or not, right? So if you started when you were 23, if you had said, oh my gosh, it could take me 10 years to be successful, you could have, and I've seen many people do this, you could have just stopped. And then you would not be where you are now. So I'm extremely impressed with your self-awareness, and I'm very grateful that you're saying this in front of this audience today. And what is your business?
Well, actually, I'm myself a programmer. I'm a developer and a solutions architect. So I've been in different roles in different companies throughout these years. I've been in QA. I've been doing development on the side. I am basically a mechatronics engineer. I wasn't even a qualified programmer at the time when I was degree in computer sciences in 2013, and I graduated in 2007 with mechatronics engineering. Uh, I was a government servant initially. I didn't actually like being a government servant. I always wanted to start my own business, but there wasn't anybody in my family who was a business person. Everybody was either in army or they were professors or they were bureaucrats, but uh, nobody in business. And I was that black swan in that whole bunch of white swans, and nobody wanted me to go into business. They never actually let me do that, but I was a bit rebellious from start, maybe. So that's why I left my government job. I started doing jobs in corporate sector. Uh, and dreaming of doing business, starting a lot of services. But right now, I'm a one man army. What I do is that I reach out to clients. I ask them if they require my services in building maybe an e-shop or an ERP or a CRM or anything that they want to automate in their whole organization, and then I give them either turnkey solutions or I create custom solutions for them. And in doing so, if that exceeds my abilities to fulfill the orders, I hire freelancers on short-term basis, and that's why I am teaching people freelancing. And what I'm liking right now is people who would do some services sales for me. So I'm teaching people to actually train them to do that either for me or maybe for someone else. Uh, so I'm doing that through a virtual classroom as well, inspired by your classroom. But I do not do videos.
Oh, really?
I post. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. That's like, to me as a teacher, if I inspired you to go out there and teach other people, that's the best possible outcome for me. So I'm sitting here smiling from ear to ear. And I just want to say, I want Rehan to respond to you, or for you guys to talk for a minute. But I just want to say, Hassan, I want to formally invite you to be a mentor in my classroom. And the mentors and I are working offline right now to set up a schedule where they're going to record videos and they're going to teach what they have to offer uniquely. So let's have that conversation. I think that you have so much that you can bring to the classroom.
Sure, it would be a pleasure.
Good. Thank you. So Rehan, do you see why I wanted to bring Hassan onto the show today?
Cool. And I hope that others will start their own classroom, even if they have 5 students, because it will eventually grow. And I'm glad what he's doing. And I hope that since he's a technologist, he will use better technology, including better lighting on his face, including videos, which is free, doesn't cost anything. And if you teach one-on-one, it's slow. It's not a bad process, but from a technologist, I would expect him to, use videos more, because you can then have somebody transcribe those videos, have them converted into a small booklet, have them converted into podcast, have them converted into a blog. So that's how, it will help him a lot. And what he's doing is interesting. And you said earlier that he is adding people slowly. The reason I ask people to just add my friends just like that is because I have very selected people. Everybody says, I don't want quantity, I want quality. Hello, guys, I have gazillionaires in my friend list. If you add them, they're all quality people. There's no such thing as bad quality in this friend list of mine. Every single person there is a phenomenal quality. So if you're going to inspect everyone and audit them, you're losing your time. Just add them and wait for the serendipitous moment to start something with them. The relationship you start today will help even if you don't know the person. After 3 years, like I added Amy 3 years ago, I did not believe that I would be doing this show 3 years ago with her. I did not even think that anything will happen. And look where it is. It's based on the distance of relationship. People ask you, how long do you know this person? It doesn't mean that how long actually do you know this person. It's like if you know someone 3 years ago and your mother proposes her, it's possible. But if you met her yesterday, mother is going to say, no marriage with this person. I don't know this person. So relationship is like wine. It's old, is gold. So build the relationship, add these people, and I'll give you an example. 6 years ago or 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, I added some people from Microsoft. And I did not even know who they are. What I do is whenever I'm watching TV or a documentary, whenever I see a name of who's who, I just go and friend them, try to friend these people. I just friend them. Then I showed up in Seattle one day. I did not expect to be in Seattle. I just showed up. And this guy met me. He was like an ex-vice president of Microsoft. The only reason he met me is because he was on my friend list for 5 years. We've never talked. But because he was my friend for the last 5 years, he must have seen something from me, some of my posts. So there was a trust between he and me. And he said, okay. And then he introduced me to another guy who actually helped me. So please, just for God's sake, just add these people. There's a science behind it. It's hard to explain. I have written a book on it if you have to take the time. And believe me, you will change. Your surroundings will change. And people like Amy will change you, because we all change each other. If we want to, for example, if I want to work with Amy, I have to change a little bit myself, and Amy has to change a little bit. And the moment it is more than little bit, we run away. But the relationship keeps us together. It's like the older you know the person, it's human psychology that you trust them more. So just add them for God's sake for now, and then unfriend them if you want them. If you don't like their newsfeed, unfriend them. But for now, just add them, because they're very, very well audited people. They're not losers anymore. Because I unfriend every single day 10 people, because I have to add newer people, better people. So I unfriend them. I'm auditing and creating a better list every day, and I'm doing this for you, so you can take advantage of these people. So please, that's my number one advice to you, because you are coming from a circle of people who are not entrepreneurs, who are different than you are. And you want different people in your life now because they will help you become even more different. And that's what you need to become in order to be successful. Otherwise, you will be selling same thing which everybody else is doing, and that will not make you ultra successful. I'm not here to make you $500 a month. I'm here to make you a billionaire. If you're not going to become a billionaire, get out of my face. I'm not interested in talking to you. But in order to do that, you have to work very, very hard. Sorry, I'm doing overtime right now, so and I have a flight. I have to take a sleeping pill so I can sleep and wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's very helpful. I don't actually know the reason why Hassan has only added a smaller number of your friends.
Well, I'm telling you the reason. I have had a talk with him, and people are very carefully selecting people they want to add. And he can answer that question if you want.
Yeah. Can you answer it, Hassan?
Sorry, the voice was distorting, but I think what Rehan was saying is that everybody in his friend list is not just a clutter, but they're all quality people, and I agree with him. The problem is that because I'm focusing a lot on my business and building up relationship with people that are actually potential clients, and I do want to increase my network. I'm an open networking or networker on LinkedIn as well, and I want to become that on Facebook. My way of adding people is not just sending them a friend's request. I ask them build a micro personal relationship with them before adding them, because if they do not know me, they may reject that friend's request, or they may think that the guy is pretty awkward. He's adding everybody on random. So that's my approach. But I don't know if that's a very good approach or not. It's gonna take me a lot of time. So maybe I'll take a little bit of Rehan's advice. I'll send a friend's request and also a message as well.
Yeah. Maybe you can find the middle ground.
Yeah.
I'm more like you, Hassan, than Rehan.
Read the book. That's why I wrote the book. Read the book. Watch the video. Read the book. Watch the video. Just copy it. I spent time on it, so you can take advantage of it. If you don't take advantage of it, then
Yeah, don't worry, Rehan. I'm gonna read it for sure.
So I'm glad to have your story captured here.
Sorry to interrupt.
I was saying I'm glad to have your story captured here because I'm in the process, Rehan and I are in the process of hiring an assistant to work with me to capture these videos and use them as examples of how to be successful. So there are a few people I've been talking to, and I've been observing their work style and their work ethic to see if I want them to be the assistant that we hire for me. And having your story captured is very valuable. I just wish that we could see your face. So I think maybe the first thing you should buy with the money you're making is a lamp that's down here sitting on a table. So it's at your face level. Yes, now we can see you. Look, there's a human there.
Look, he's so handsome.
Yeah. Oh, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
That's actually, Hassan, that's part of building relationship, right? Like before we were just talking to the outline of a human, but now that we're looking at you and you're very smiley, I'm very smiley. So that's, you and I can see that we're both smiley and we're more interested in actually building relationships through Rehan's friends. And so Anyway, it's very. I'm very pleased that you joined us today. Is there anything else you want to add? What, Rehan?
Which city is he from?
Sorry, Rehan, I couldn't hear you.
Which city are you from?
City. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a long story if you're talking about the city. I was born in Peshawar.
I don't
Uh,
care where
I
do you live right
Yeah, I'm living in Islamabad.
now? Okay. So there's a bunch of people. We have a group of people in Islamabad where we try to meet up every month, and they're in the same field which you're in. Meet up with those crazy people, and it will help you. Those are the selected ones you want to meet physically, and then virtually you meet everyone.
Okay.
How does he get access to the group meeting in Islamabad?
I
It's called a group called Rehan Allahwala Meetup Islamabad.
Facebook group?
Yeah. So just join the group, and if anybody wants to meet in any city of Pakistan and wants to do this meetups or anywhere in the world, to be honest, I have almost everywhere somebody. Even if it's just you who just show up and read a book over there, it will make a huge difference because people who need you will show up. And those are serious people. People who show up are actually serious people.
Yeah.
People who are just talking are not really serious. And the reason she took you in today is because you have been attending, showing up every time she did the show. So she took you seriously because, okay, this guy is serious about learning something, so let's teach him more. And that's how everybody chooses their favorite students. Because if you show up, then you're at least serious, more serious than other people, right? So I will be very happy to help you in any way I can. I don't know what that is because I don't really understand what you're looking for. You're teaching, you're looking for. It's a mixed up story for me. I apologize. And I understand where you are, but I would suggest to teach people using video. And because you're a small company, you will need to do a lot of one-on-one coaching for your own staff.
I would
So prepare people for your own self, and people who don't even have talent, but they are emotionally attached with you in terms of they understand you well. Those are the people who will go a longer way with you. They don't have to be very talented in terms of knowledge because everything can be learned. That's my experience. So you want people who want to be with you for the next 5 years. These are the initial 5 people you're hiring. So those initial 5 people will make it into 50 to 500 organization. And every time the organization which you're building will grow and will change, you will have to unlearn everything you know and relearn everything you know because you wouldn't know. Like, I am really good with startups, but I don't know how to manage a larger company. And I have to unlearn I know and then relearn everything. And you're coming in from the same background that you're coming in from a government business, then a private business, and then now you're starting your own business. So starting up is very different than doing a job. Because in a job, everything was already SOPs. You have to follow this process. Here, you're the jamadar, you're the cleaner, you're the chaiwala, you're the salesman, you're the coder, you're everybody. So you have to know everything. And you can't know everything. So that's why you need friends when you go and ask, I'm having this problem, what should I do? And that's it. That's all you have to do. You have to ask people for help. And you have to stop feeling, oh, if I ask, what will happen? Ooh, what will happen? That's, again, you need courage for asking help. Because most people say, oh, I'm a white collar person, I can't ask for help. You can ask for help. You're not asking for money, you're asking for knowledge or support. That's all you're asking for. Be gentle, be nice. If they refuse, that's fine.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And in fact, Rehan, you were just talking about the training for your staff. I think that that's something that we should talk about, and we can offer trainings. Maybe we can do them live in my classroom and have them support not just the people in my classroom, but also people who work for you, for your company, for your companies. And because there's a lot involved in actually keeping a business running. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a builder. I much prefer to build things, but I'm lucky because I'm also a teacher. So I also have this commitment to people how to do things well and do them right. So I actually work well as a manager, but I don't want to do it full time, if that makes sense. So you a lot that you need to learn to run your business. And Rehan is completely right. You have to just find the courage to ask for what you need. And it will be longer if you spend too much time being super selective. At this point, now that you've made this decision, you've made a bigger risk, right? You've taken a bigger risk. You've taken a bigger chance. So now the growth line for you is to push yourself out of the comfort zone of just kind of doing everything the way you've already been doing it. You now have to be the person who's willing to push yourself from behind, even if you trip, because there's a lot you need to do that's now outside of what you're used to doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, pretty much.
And a lot of that is going to include, I think, what Rehan is kind of pushing you to do also now, which is don't worry about it. I mean, you're fishing in a well-stocked pond if you fish from his friend group. And I understand the psychology of why you haven't been, because I'm very much the same way. I consider still my feed to be kind of my own private space. So I've added probably 215 of Rehan's friends. I will add more. I'm not doing it to get a computer or a smartphone. I'm doing it because I'm finding value from it personally. But I think that for you, maybe you don't need the laptop, but I know that it would be valuable for you to be on Rehan's list of, here are the people in Pakistan who have made 500 mutual friends with me. It's like a club. There's a page on Facebook. So, that group of people, you all have done the same thing. And I don't know, Rehan, correct me if I'm wrong, that's now a community where you can share resources and thoughts and ideas. And you can ask, do you know this person? And how did you connect with this person? So you're stepping into a new territory, which is good, but it's going to require you to really push yourself.
I think the time of the show is over. Thank you all for joining. Amy, last 2 words.
Last 2 words are, Rehan and I have been doing this now. My virtual classroom has grown significantly, and there's so much good information that I'm putting out there. Everybody who's watching this should be a member of Amy Carrier's classroom so that you get access to the free interactive lesson that I teach every single Monday at this same exact time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pakistani time. And that lesson is specifically answering and responding to what's coming up in discussion in the classroom. So last week, this past Monday, we talked about empathy and how do you build empathy into your business model. The week before, we talked about market research and your target customer. These are extremely valuable pieces of information that everybody who's starting a business needs to know about. And what's great about this lesson is I make it interactive. The first half is me delivering the lesson. The second half is you asking questions and getting those questions answered. So everyone should join that classroom. I built it based on my conversations with Rehan. And it can be so much more than it is right now. It's all based on what you as a student bring to it. So you should absolutely take advantage just of what I bring to it as the teacher in the class. But there's so many resources. And there now that I've recruited Hassan, there are 10 mentors who have amazing expertise, who can answer your questions. So join Amy Carrier's Classroom, which is a group on Facebook, and absolutely, hands down, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can watch all of my live lessons and my short 3-minute mini lessons. My YouTube channel is called Amy Carrier Empowers, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook. And yeah, I love doing this show every week because we can respond to whatever questions are coming up. And to everybody who watched and asked questions and we didn't answer them, here's the answer for you. It's impossible for us to do everything. I had a goal today of getting Hassan on here, so we did that, and I'm very glad we did because I feel that there's a lot of value that everyone can learn from this. And I look forward to seeing you all in my classroom. But in order to join, you must answer those 3 questions, and you must have a profile photo, and your name must be written in English because we have members from over 55 countries. Our common language is English. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your questions, and join us every single week at the same time. And if you bring up topics and you do what Hassan has done, personally, that might get you onto this show next time. Thank you both. Hassan, very nice to connect with you in person here. Rehan, I hope you sleep well.
Pleasure.
Thank you everybody for joining. I have a comment from Shahzad Raza. I love this guy. He has been hanging out with me for a few years now. When he added me, he had like no mutual friends. He was scared of everything. He showed up. Now he has 500 friends. He has won a laptop already, and now he has this idea for Uber for cars or buses, which is a great idea. And I would love to invest if you want. I would love for you to do this. I think if you come online and explain this idea, you will find partners to do this, and you should just do it.
The comment disappeared. Can you put it back on the screen?
And if you do this, it will be brilliant for you to do this. There's nothing wrong with this idea. And if you need any help, let me know what help you need. But I think that Shahzad, you need to add, you're a well-traveled man, but you should add more Gora people so that in my friend list, so that they help you and they can show you things which you cannot see. Because if you want to see the future, you travel, and you travel to a country which is already ahead of you. And whatever has been done there will happen in your country. So for example, if you want to go forward 10 years, just look at Dubai. If you want to look forward 15 years, 10 years, 15 years, look at the United States. If you want to look forward 20 years, look at Korea, South Korea, or Japan. So the technology they're using now will be available to us after 20 years or so. Maybe not 20 years, maybe 10, but a lot of things, if you just go and travel, it helps you. So that's why I'm asking you to add people from around the world, because when you share an idea with public, they comment and they guide you how and why should you do it in a certain way. And it helps you by not making mistakes. The other way is do it and make your own mistakes. That's how traditionally as human beings we have been doing things. But now we have this collective mind of all those people sitting on Facebook, watch, share, collaborate faster than ever before. So it's your choice that you can take advantage of people like Amy, she's giving her time from the US, people from like Carla, she's giving her time from DC, and take their opinion. These are not your commandments. These are opinions. People are giving you an opinion. And they don't really know or understand your culture, but they're still giving you an opinion. And take those opinions, mix it with your own recipe, and start doing things. That's all I would like to say. Thank you all for watching. Tune in next week, 10 p.m. Pakistan time, same place. Share this video as much as you can. Ask people to watch it if they want to, if they want to be part of this, if they want to be in Amy's classroom. We're not doing this so we can charge you something. We're not doing this so we can make money off you. We're doing this so that this is our sadaqah, this is our zakat of our time, of our knowledge, So when we do this and when we need help, people will come and help us, or God will help us in certain ways, which we don't even understand how it helps, but it always happens. When you give what you have, when you need something, automatically doors open and things start to happen. That's what has happened all my life, and I believe that it will happen to you also. New doors will have open, which you
Yep.
don't not even know that they existed. They do exist, and they open and they give you stuff which you can't even believe. What? How did that happen? But the requirement is
It's true.
keep the flow. Start giving. If you have money, give the money. If you have knowledge, give the knowledge. If you have courage, give courage. Whatever you have in abundance,
Time.
start giving. Time. If you have time, join my new campaign. How can I help you campaign? Do it every day, 30 minutes a day. Do it once a week, 30 minutes a week. Do it once a month, 30 minutes a month. But make yourself available to other people and just ask, how can I help you? How can I make your life a little bit better? Just if you imagine if you could make 1% of your life better every single day, that means that you're improving your life by, I don't know, a gazillion times. Because all you need to do is take one action which makes your life simpler tomorrow. That's all. It's hard now, but it's easier tomorrow. So invest in yourself. If we make our country 1% better today, imagine how beautiful our country would be tomorrow, because it grows exponentially. It doesn't, it's by square. It's not just like 365% a year. Even if you improved yourself 1% today, your salary should be increased 365% by the end of the year, automatically, because you automatically are more enabled. If you're enabled, then you will automatically gain the person. People are always looking for talented people. Always. There are headhunters everywhere. And they can't find people. Why? Because people are saying, I'm happy with my job. I will work hard when I get a raise. No, you have to work harder right now so that you people will come and find you. If you develop yourself, magic will happen. Have a good night.